Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today is very exciting. We have our first Lost Caverns of Ixalan gameplay video, and where else would we start but with one of the tribes from Lost Caverns, and that is Merfolk. So this is a green-blue deck, and we are running a number of new cards, new Merfolk, new complementary cards as well. So let's just run through each of those. So we'll start with Cavern of Souls. This is obviously one of the kind of splashier new cards from the set. So this is a reprint from Avacyn Restored, new to Explorer, new to Pioneer. So this is a mythic land. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You can add one colourless mana or one mana of any colour, but the one mana of any colour you can only spend on a creature of the chosen type, but also that spell can't be countered. So this is by far the most powerful of the typal matters lands. So very excited to see this in the format. And then in terms of our new Merfolk, we've got 4 copies of Sinote Scout. So this is a 1/1 for 1 green. When it enters the battlefield, it explores. And for those who weren't around for previous Ixalan, explore, you reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand if it's a land. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature, and then you can either put that card back or into your graveyard. So that is a very good 1-drop, just to kind of down at the bottom of the curve of this deck. We're also running 4 copies of Tishana's Tidebinder, so 3/2 with flash. When it enters the battlefield, counter up to 1 target activated or triggered ability. If the ability of an artifact, creature, or planeswalker is countered this way, that permanent loses all abilities for as long as Tishana's Tidebinder remains on the battlefield. So this is very good at shutting down opposing planeswalkers. You can stifle a Shieldred the Apocalypse trigger and basically blank Shieldred's text for as long as this is on the battlefield. So yeah, very good flash creature that potentially might do a lot of work for us. And then our other new Merfolk is 3 copies of Sentinel of the Nameless City. So this is a 3/4 Vigilance for 2 and a green. And when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you create a map token. And maps are an artifact token where you can pay 1 and sacrifice it, and target creature you control explores, activate only as a sorcery. And then the rest of the deck is Merfolk that already existed in the format, but we'll just quickly run through those. So we've got Kumena's Speaker, 1/1 that is a 2/2 as long as you control an island or another Merfolk. Silvergill Adept, which is a 2/1 that draws a card when it enters the battlefield, and it would cost 5, but you can reveal a Merfolk card from your hand instead. So that's a very cheap cantrip on a creature. Voldalian Hexcatcher and Merfolk Mistbinder are our lords, so they each give all other Merfolk you control +1/+1, and Hexcatcher has the additional fun clause of not only having flash, but also you can sacrifice a Merfolk to counter a non-creature spell unless its controller pays 1. Then we've got Merfolk Trickster, 2/2 with flash. When it enters the battlefield, tap target creature an opponent controls, and it loses all abilities until end of turn. So those are the Merfolk, and then we've just got a couple more additional spells. So we've got 2 copies of Spell Pierce in the main deck, just to help us deal with board wipes and other problematic spells the opponent might play. And then, of course, given the CMC value of a lot of our creatures, 4 copies of Collected Company, seen this card many times before. Go and fetch 2 creatures with mana value 3 or less from the top 6 cards of your library, put them onto the battlefield. Then Mana Base, talked about the Cavern of Souls. We're also running 3 copies of Secluded Courtyard, which is another Typal Matters land. Mutavault, 4 copies of that, as the creature that you create is also a Merfolk. And then the rest of the deck is the usual green-blue lands, and then 1 island as a basic land. So we are leaning quite heavily on our Typal lands here, just because you will need, you need to be able to reliably cast double blue, but also green, and yeah. So having these is really important. Then in the sideboard, 2 copies of Shaper's Sanctuary, very good at dealing with decks that run a lot of spot removal. 2 copies of Deeproot Pilgrimage, so this is another new card. Whenever 2 mana enchantment, whenever 1 or more non-token Merfolk you control becomes tapped, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token with hexproof. So I do have another version of Merfolk, which I will play at some point, which plays 4 copies of this and 4 copies of Kumena, Tyrant of Arazka in the main board, because Kumena is a card which relies on tapping a lot of Merfolk to make its abilities go off, and you can control it so you tap them basically 1 at a time, and you get a trigger of Deeproot Pilgrimage every time you do that. So that's a way of generating a lot of Merfolk. Then the rest of the sideboard, 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke and 3 copies of Mystical Dispute as our additional counter spells. Then we've got Unlicensed Hearse for Graveyard Hate, and then a couple of Voldalian Mind Singers. So this is a card which we haven't seen very much play in this format, but a 2/2 for 3 with Kicker, and it enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it for each time it was kicked, which is most of the time. Well, in fact, all of the time in this deck, sorry, it is only once that you'll be able to kick it, because we don't actually run any red producing mana. But you can take control of a creature with power less than Voldalian Mindsinger's power for as long as it's on the battlefield, so it's a good tempo card, stealing an opponent's creature out from under them, swinging with more Merfolk. So yeah, that is it. It is a linear creature strategy. Don't need to go over how the deck works. It's fairly self-explanatory. Just lots of value, lots of creatures that get bigger, and yeah, good fun. So, Simic Merfolk, Cavern Merfolk, Lost Caverns of Ixalan is here, so hit those like and subscribe buttons because there'll be plenty more to come. New cards, a lot of exciting new cards, and let's go and see how we go on with this. Okay, our opponent's on the old Yorion strategy. Now, it's a shame we don't have a 1-drop here, but this is good enough. Okay, they are going hard on mulliganing. So, lucky you, you get to witness me playing Cavern of Souls for the first time in this format. Let's reveal our other Silvergill Adept. Draw a card. Ooh, feels good. What else feels good is that they cannot counter anything I do. Not that they would have been able to with white mana, but... And they can blow up my Cavern of Souls. But details. Details, details. Okay, so they're on some sort of mono-white strategy. Pass the turn. So our Sentinel is generating some maps for us. Might use those soon. Okay. Okay. So we can go fetch our island. Oh, so they are playing black-white. Fair enough. I don't really fancy giving up this, so let's Collected Company. Ooh, interesting. Okay, let's have a Hex Catcher and another Sentinel. Now I'm less fussed about losing a Sentinel. I'll pass the turn again, why not? Sure. I will discard Silvergill Adept here. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. We'll just go maximum power here. So, Merfolk, Hexcatcher, Mistbinder. You're dead. You're super dead. So dead. Okay. So our opponent is playing Orzhov Yorion. So I think we want some disdainful strokes. Do we want Shaper Sanctuary? I don't think so. I don't think we want Mind Singer. We don't want Mystical Dispute. Pilgrimage. Hexproof token generation actually is bad here against things like Trial of Ambition. So let's pop that in. And what are we taking out? Spell Pierce I like. Tidebinder, is that? It does stifle like Yorion and stuff like that. Yeah, keep that in. Trickster is okay. Silvergill Adept is fine. Could take those out, I suppose. Or are we just trying to... let's try taking these out on the draw. I'm not thrilled by this as a concept. Well, that's worse. That is worse. Okay. So let's get rid of Stroke and Collected Company, and let's just hope that we can do something before we die. Well, let's open with a Cavern of Souls just because we can. Yeah, keep that. That doesn't do anything against our deck. None of our... Okay. None of our lands work like that, but sure. I think maybe they think it turns off Cavern of Souls. It doesn't. Okay, well, let's wait for them to target. Let's play Hexcatcher. Now let's play a Sentinel of the Nameless City. Yeah, I don't think that would... Yeah, that's confusing me. Bring that... Yes, bring this in against Lotus Field and Nykthos, not against Cavern of Souls. Doesn't do anything against Cavern of Souls. Although, yeah, maybe they're trying to use it for its second clause to stop me casting more than... It feels a bit of a reach to put it in just for that. Why sacrifice here when you can sacrifice whatever it is they try and do next? No, they put it in their hand. Well, that is mental. Let's explore. Should have done that pre-combat, but I'd attacked before I decided what I was going to do, which don't do that. Don't do what I do. No, there's no point sacrificing all of our stuff for that. So let's just... So I could play Tidebinder here, or tell you what, let's put a stop on my upkeep. Let's just stifle that so it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything this turn. It doesn't blank the text of Doom Foretold, unfortunately, because Doom Foretold is an enchantment. But it does give me a lovely warm feeling. So, we do have our Hex Catcher for anything particularly unpleasant they might play, but what do we lose here? I think we probably lose the Hex Catcher. Then I think we Mistbinder, activate Mutavault, attack. Just apply maximum pressure, really. Yeah. Ish. Yeah, I'll keep it for now. Okay. So nearly dead here. So let's green. Let's activate Mutavault. Play Pilgrimage. Okay. I can live with that. Oh, that's got to smart a little. So they can bring in and blink Yorion. Doesn't really help them. Blinking Doom Foretold does nothing. I mean, they feel pretty dead here. Maybe they're not dead. Why would that? What? Who has their last card as Beseech the Mirror? Why would you do that? Honestly, you can't trust anyone these days. Ooh, I wonder what it is. Cheeky. Why are you like this? Why would it be a land? Oh well, at least we get our Mutavault back, I suppose. Swings and roundabouts. Hey, come now. Now you're just being annoying. Let's train up our Mutavault, stick a counter on it. Play another Cavern of Souls. I'm not loving this situation. Oh no, we are super dead. Okay, let's move on. Bring in Shaper Sanctuary. Take out a couple of Kumeno's speakers. Yep, this will do. Merfolk. Sure. No, it's not interesting enough for me to do anything about it. Merfolk again. Now I think it's just Spell Pierce for the win. And it's a no from me. I wouldn't. I would normally try and play that with Flash, but I want the damage. How we laughed. Lemon hell, opponent. This better be good. Ooh, it's a... no, 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 it's a hard pass from me, I'm afraid. Right, Merfolk off to a good start. Huh, Kahira. so it could be a control deck, in which case I like Cavern of Souls. I don't love not having a 1-drop. Yeah, alright. Okay, no, it is elementals instead. Yes, it is. Okay. Elementals versus Merfolk. So let's get our Mistbinder out. Okay, they're off to a pretty explosive start, so we're just drawing land, so I'm not thrilled about this whole situation. Okay. Let's stifle that. This card now has no text. Okay, collected company I will take. So let's play another Mutavault. Pass the turn. Okay. Mm, double block Big Omnath. Sadly, I had to give them a 5/5 there, but it's worth it to ambush one of their bigger creatures. I would like to stop drawing land, though. Let's stick a... have an Explore there, or keep a Tidebinder. No, I don't feel the need to attack, I don't think. I don't feel the urge. That's annoying. Um, okay. Really? I should really re-familiarise myself with what this card does. Okay, fair enough. Well, they had a very explosive start and we didn't, so that is fine. I'm not going to bother bringing in any counter spells, because Cavern of Souls. But let's have a Mind Singer or two. And let's have some Pilgrimages. And let's take out Spell Pierce. And I think a couple of Tide Binders here as well, cause Voice of Resurgence. That'll do. Don't have the mana to cast Collected Company here, and still, again, no 1-drop. This is a bit of a rough hand, to be honest. Do I ship it? Yeah, I probably should. Yeah, that's better. Let's pop back Mind Singer for the moment, I think. Yeah. Good, good. Well, reveal Trickster here. Okay, that's a pretty tasty 1, 2, 3. I would like to flash in a Lord here, and the threat of it was enough, so. Okay, Voice of Resurgence by itself is not particularly threatening. Ha, what are we doing here? Okay, let's explore here. Hopefully draw a land. Nope. Let's pop Mistbinder into play. Attack with everything. So Trickster does just kill this, which is handy. So let's Mappy Map Muckmack face. Good. Land. Send in some more attacks. Okay. I've never wanted an opponent to miss more. They just rudely refused. Okay, that I'm less fussed about. Hmm. Okay. So, ooh, this is going to be a close one. Okay, kill one thing. Play another Silvergill Adept. A Cavern of Souls. Nope. So they've got some fabled passages. So they can, but nothing really to do with them at this point. That's ambitious. I see what they're doing here. Okay. Well, let's double block their 6/6. No follow up, maybe just for once. Okay, that makes sense. Gain some more life. I could stifle that, couldn't I? Yeah. Gain 4. Counter that. Land is not great, but let's play it. Merfolk. Let's go exploring. How much am I willing to risk waiting another turn? Don't really have any other choice, I don't think, so let's do that. That's not ideal. Didn't miss once with Risen Reef there. Sure. Let's just use both of our 4 power creatures here. Ooh, this is going to be a spicy ending. Okay, let's roll the dice. Okay, well that's their life gain for the turn out the way. Yep, sure. So they can get me down to 1 with this third land trigger. Okay, another Olmatha creation, sure. No, they still feel they're still pretty dead at the moment. Okay, we'll take 4. Oh no, that does. Oh, does that reset itself? Okay, fine. Oh yeah, it would do. Yes, yeah. Oh, how depressing. That's very boring, isn't it? Oh well, move on. So we have kept an OK 7. Not the best, but not bad enough that I think it's worth getting rid of. It's pretty nice. So, Merfolk. Okay, we're off to an explosive start. Does paying Tidebinder do anything here? I don't think it does. Um, okay. That is a shame. Okay, the opponent's also playing Merfolk. That's good to know. Okay, let's stifle that. Don't really want them drawing a card. Sure. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Double collected company. Not you. Lost the turn, wait for them to place. Yep, okay, that's collected company in response. Cool. Yeah, just needed to time that collected company so they couldn't respond to it by playing Hexcatcher. So in the mirror match, I think obviously Mystical Dispute is good. Kumena Tyrant of Araska is not bad here. Mind Singer isn't terrible either, so let's pop that in. Yeah, we're going a little more grindy, I think, here. Is Collected Company actually good in the mirror? Not sure it is. Feel like it's too easily countered. Let's try taking it out for the moment. And we'll take out a couple of Tidebinders as well. Yeah, let's just go full on creature nonsense. Could happen. Ha. It's not a good hand. Neither is this, but I think I'm stuck with it, so let's keep it, pop away. Nevermire Coast. Let's open with Speaker again. This feels like the wrong land to be playing in this deck, but who am I to judge? This is less surprising when your opponent knows you've got it. Okay, we'll spell pierce that. Okay, fine. That's what they want to argue over. I'm not going to complain, so let's play Mutavault. Let's pop Hexcatcher into the play. Attack for 3. So we're trading resources back and forth quite effectively here. Cavern of Souls. Activate Mutavault. Consciously not attack with our Hexcatcher. Oh, a Merfolk Trickster. Who would have seen it coming? Ah, discarding Collected Company, are we? Pretty cheeky. Well, I don't really want to tap it now. That's sad, isn't it? Let's just offer a trade instead, I suppose. No. It's an absolutely not for me. There we are. Ah, easy mirror match. Very good. Oh, that is Merfolk for you. So yeah, 3 interesting matches there. We got a bit steamrolled by elementals. Our opponent did have some good draws for that, though. Yeah, interesting. What do they want from me here? Okay, Fabrication Foundry is bugged. Just as well I wasn't trying to use that card. So that is Simic Cavern Merfolk. So that was fun. Obviously, very early iteration of the deck, so it needs some refining. But yeah, I mean, these are all Tishana's Tidebinder, Sentinel. I mean, they all did good work, let's be honest. So Cavern of Souls, great. Yeah, no, I'm really pleased with that. Let's see how the deck evolves as we move on. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit those like and subscribe buttons. As I say, there is much more Lost Caverns of Ixalan content to come. If you have any comments about the deck, if you have deck suggestions, please do leave them in the comments. I'm very open to playing whatever it is people want to see. There's lots of new strategies and archetypes and new cards to play, so let's see what people can come up with, and I will see you next time.